flick. Hello everyone, good day, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is where you're at. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is TinaE and I do fashion and beauty videos here on YouTube. Sometimes I do a little bit of lifestyle as well. Today we did a chit chat, get ready with me, as you can see in the title and the thumbnail. I've had a few things to talk about and I got to talk about it in this video. We did an autumnal look today. I'm just going to work so we kept it casual and neutral-ish. Anyway, if you want to hear about me chatting about my life and get a little bit emotional, just keep on watching and I will also show you how to recreate this look. Enjoy! Got a massive cup of tea here. I needed the hydration. Stay hydrated, you all know. My plan for today wasn't to do a lot with my hair. That plan failed. So we're just going with, I just created some volume at the roots and some soft curls. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to work, so I thought that I could film that chit chat, get ready with me. And I forgot to wet my sponge. Be right back. I've already applied my primer. I use the Beauty UK Prime FX Foundation Primer. It's very matte, but I like to apply this a few minutes before applying foundation because then it gets to settle and do its thing. So we're just gonna go on to foundation. And I just use the Fit Me Luminous and Smooth in the shade 110. So I'm gonna smack that right on. And I just apply some of it to my finger and then just tap it in under my eyes. I use the warmth from my finger to evenly distribute the product. Some on my eyelid. Now the reason why I wanted to film a chit chat, get ready with me, was because I want to chat. A lot of things has happened. I would say that my life has changed and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. But first I'm gonna apply foundation to the rest of my face. I want flawless skin today. I need that confidence or that extra boost. Because when I was working out today, for the first time in 3 weeks, I saw a guy that didn't treat me so well and it ended badly and I panicked. And now I want to feel glam because there's a pretty good chance he saw me sweaty, red in my face and in dirty, worn out gym clothes. So got that going for me. That happened today. Fun. But there's a lot of things that has happened in the last few weeks or maybe 1.5 months. To set my face, I'm just gonna use the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, just straight up regular powder. Now, we can't deny that the coronavirus basically defined this year, but I asked myself this one question the last few weeks. Did Corona change my life for the better? I think it's a little bit too early to say, but a part of me think it did. As I've mentioned, I work at a clothing store. Before I continue, I'm just going to use a little bit of the Wet n Wild powder in the Mega Glow contouring palette. This right here, I'm just going to use the face powder because this gives a pretty natural, pretty look. Now, where was I? I work at a clothing store, as I've mentioned before, but the hours I had on my contract were a lot less than what I actually did work all the time. I used to make enough to make a living so that I had money enough for food and bills and a few things I would want. Then Corona came and I temporarily lost my job, as did all my co-workers. There was only, well, our boss had to run the store by herself and no surprise, I was broke. Because the hours I had on my contract were so little, I actually couldn't make a living. But luckily I live in Norway, so even if I did temporarily or permanently lose my job, the government would give me some money each month so that I could live. I'm very, very lucky and that happened, and I'm very grateful for that because I know that there's a lot of people who don't have that luxury. I'm also gonna pop a little bit of the L'Oreal True Match Minerals. Well, it's a skin improving foundation, but it's kind of a powder form. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that on. And during the time I was temporarily out of work, I started this YouTube channel and that helped me. And I must say that the community here is just amazing. You are all so kind and I'm very grateful for all of you. All of you who has ever given me a nice comment or gives me a nice comment, you make my day. Anyway, So making this YouTube channel has given me a lot of joy, and it happened because of coronavirus, basically. Another thing that happened was that I realized that I can't be in a job where if the worst were to happen, I wouldn't be able to make a living. So I started looking for another job. I was actually just planning on having 2 jobs and juggle those. And at a gas station 3 minutes from where I live, there was an opening. And to compare those 2 jobs, the one I had at the clothing store was a 30% kind of job. That means that I don't work 100%, I work 30%. The job at the gas station was a 60% job, so I really wanted that job. And of course, I got all charming, I applied for the job, I got an interview, and at the interview he said, I'll call you back in a week and a half, there's still a lot of other people I need to interview. And I was like, of course, looking forward to it. 2 days later, he called me and said that I got the job. And I got that phone call while I was painting my mother's living room because she bought a new house and was moving that week. I was at the interview at a Wednesday. He called me on a Friday. We moved on a Saturday, and I don't remember what happened on a Sunday. I just remember I was exhausted because I realized that I can't juggle 2 jobs. I'm just gonna use the contour shade in the same Wet n Wild palette, by the way. I realized I can't juggle 2 jobs, and that meant that I had to quit my job at the... I get emotional. That meant that I had to quit my job at the clothing store, and now that I'm saying it out loud, it's kind of heartbreaking. My dream job was to work there for the rest of my life. And I've invested a lot of time and energy in that store. I love my co-workers. But when the disaster came, I realized that at the moment there's no future there. I'm just using this powder to warm up my face to give it some kind of dimension. Like, I can work a lot of extra as I've done for the last few years. And that's been okay and fine. And I can save up some money and I can get my driver's license. I can maybe buy a car. But I don't think I can ever start my life for real while working there. I need a bigger income to do that. I can't start a family with that job. And there's no chance that I'm going to get enough hours yearly at that store at the moment. That's just not gonna happen because of coronavirus. But of course, I said yes to the job at the gas station. I've already worked 3 or 4 shifts there, and my god, the girls that are working there are so kind, and my boss is so kind and fair, and they're just all so lovely people, so I'm really looking forward to work there. But then again, I had to quit my dream job. Maybe I like it so much over there that that will be my new dream job. You never know what's coming for you. One can imagine how stressed I was when I had to tell my boss that I got another job and I had to quit. Because she has been an idol. She has been absolutely incredible. She's been very supportive. She's been cheering me on, and I'm gonna miss her. Crying while contouring. What did you do today? Another thing I want to tell you all about with my last job, or the clothing store job, is that they offer, it's kind of a program where you can take classes or kind of a course, or it's actually kind of like a school where you can develop your skills as a store manager or as a visual merchandiser. And I applied for that visual merchandiser course or school, or what are you gonna call it in English, and I got in. This was last fall, and I was supposed to be done in March. But because of the coronavirus and a few other stuff, I had my final exam, is that how you say it, final test or whatever, on Tuesday. I'm filming this on a Monday, week after. By the way, I'm just using the Pure Radiance powder blusher from H&M in the shade Apricot. I absolutely love this. It's very natural, and we love natural. And on the Monday last week, 1 week ago, I had my first shift at the gas station. So you can imagine that that was quite a week. Not gonna lie, I've been tired. So I'm feeling very optimistic about my future, because for the first time in 2 years, I feel like I have a future to look forward to. And even though I love fashion, of course, and beauty and everything girly, I feel a lot more calm. I can plan. I couldn't do that with my last job because I relied so much on extra shifts that was my life, working extra shifts. And I'm at a place right now where I want to do more than that. I just forgot to hit record, so I've been talking to myself for the past 5 minutes. But I'm just gonna fill in my brows using the super fine brow liner by H&M, and I can't for the life of me find the shade name, but I know I mentioned it before in previous videos, so just look it up if you're curious, because right now I can't tell you, as I was talking about to myself, because I forgot to hit record. I am incredibly proud of myself because I passed the final test on the visual merchandiser program because I was nervous. I was supposed to be done in March, and I've been practicing a little bit here and there during this coronavirus time, but I was nervous and I felt so unprepared. And my first day at my new job at the gas station was a Monday and the test was on a Tuesday. My brain was just scattered everywhere. I was so nervous, but I passed, and that was another milestone in my life, and I'm proud and I'm emotional today apparently, but I think it's just a combination of me being proud and very tired. Anyway, so I'm proud of myself for passing that test and for getting that job. I'm sure that I manifested that job, and I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I'm sure I manifested that job. I wanted that job and I made sure that the universe knew. Anyway, as I was sitting there being interviewed by him at the job interview, that was the due date for applying to that job, and I think that it had been up for maybe a little bit under 4 weeks, I don't know, but as I was sitting there, he told me, I have a very good first impression. You seem like a nice girl and I think you'll fit in. But there's a lot of other people who have applied and they're good contestants or good candidates too. And I was like, of course. There's 150 other people who had applied. And while we were sitting there during the interview, he told me, well, I can see that there's been a few more that has applied to this job. One can imagine how many people are in need of a new job at this moment in history. And I would say that maybe with all of those who had applied and those who applied while I was sitting there, there were maybe 160 people who won that job. And out of those 160, I got the job. And I know my head is getting bigger, I can feel it getting heavier, but I am proud and I honestly feel like I deserved it. And so, as I said earlier, I'm a lot more optimistic about life right now. The difference brows make. This will never cooperate and it's annoying AF, but this is the brow I was given, so I'm gonna work with it and I can just always microblade again. By the way, this cup is almost as big as my face. This was a Christmas gift from my brother a few years ago and I absolutely love it. I can even use it for soup. Ooh, I'm craving soup. You know it's fall when you crave soup. Gonna have to look up some recipes that my boyfriend's gonna like too. It's like most guys, they don't like soup. Or the guys I've met don't.
Hey you guys, so apparently this very important step got cut out in the process, but I'm just popping in to tell you what shade I use first. I use this light shade and a fluffy blending brush, and I apply this all over my crease and my eyelids to help the other shades blend a little better.
Moving on, I'm just going to take a brush like this, and I think this shade right here, or does it have shade? No, it has a satin finish. We can't have that. I think I'm just going to take that shade right here, just a dark brown shade, and apply that more concentrated in my crease and outer corners. It's pigmented. Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough. I'm just gonna blend that crease, kind of create that flick. I love that flick, like that flick. I love that. I'm just gonna drag it underneath my lower lash line just to smoke it out and connect it. I think I've talked about all the things I wanted to talk about already. I just needed to vent. Maybe sadly enough, or luckily enough, or I don't know what to say. This has probably become my platform and place so that anyone who cares and wants to listen can. I'm just gonna take the same fluffy blending brush and the first shade that I used and just blend out the edges. I feel like I do the same look every time, but maybe I do. I like to be creative, but when I'm heading to work, you know, I want to be neutral. So that's just gonna happen. I really want to play with that burnt orange shade right there. I'm gonna apply that and see if it makes any sense. Probably will. It's eyeshadow. Does anything make sense? I don't think so. Okay, so we smoked out a little bit. The eyes gave them some dimension. I'm just gonna top off that dark brown shade again in the outer corners because I feel like that disappeared a little bit as we did some blending. Okay, so I'm gonna try that orange shade right now. I have no idea how it's gonna behave. I don't know, we gotta try. So I'm just gonna take a flat-headed eyeshadow brush and that orange shade right there and apply that all over my lid or the middle half and inner corners and just blend it out into the dark brown shade we spent so much time on. I have no idea how pigmented this is, but we gonna see. Might be that I have a quite bad brush as well, but that's orange. That sure is orange. That was the plan. We like autumn. I get too hot in summer. I love summer, don't get me wrong, ever. I like summer and I can even love summer, but there's something about fall that every basic white girl loves. And I'm a basic white girl. I'm owning it. I love that it gets colder. I love crisp weather when it's appropriate, of course. If you give me crisp weather in July, I ain't gonna be happy. I'm just blending it out into the dark shade and I'm probably gonna top that off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to top that off. I'm gonna take the same brush that I used before. It's kind of just too fluffy, so it's kind of hard to work with. That was my dumb decision, so I'm gonna have to accept that I made a stupid decision and just own it. I'm just gonna blend the edges in the crease. I think that's the first thing you learn when you type in makeup tutorial on YouTube. You gotta blend. And blending is therapy, not even joking. Blending your eyeshadow is therapy, and oh my god, I'm running out of time. And I was thinking about doing eyeliner. Am I gonna do it? Probably. I'm gonna take this same brush, this very fluffy and that orange shade again, and apply that to the middle of my lower lash line. And I'm gonna continue that orange shade to that inner corner. And once again, I'm in need of false lashes and I don't have it. And to deepen up those outer corners again, I'm using the same brown shade. I think it's so funny that I earlier mentioned that I'm going to work, I want to be neutral, and this is what we ended up with. And we're not even done. Maybe I'm gonna go all in, maybe the MP lip, I don't know. I'm just gonna finish off the eyeshadow just using an angled liner brush and that very dark brown color right down there. And I'm just gonna line my lash line because it makes it all look a bit more natural. Take a sip of your tea or coffee every time I say natural. Or if you have a glass of wine, maybe take a sip of that and you'll get drunk. And I messed up that liner, cool. Yeah, I kinda ended up doing a little wing. Oops. I'm just gonna curl my lashes, apply some mascara. I'm using a normal lash curler. Huge shock, I know. And the Lash Sensational Mascara by Maybelline. I want to try something else, and I'm going to try something else soon. Okay, I promise. I'm going to buy another mascara that's not this one. But at the moment, it's all I have, and that's what I'm going to use. Can we just appreciate the difference mascara makes? Just amazing. I love mascara. I've had some mascara spillage on my lids, but I'm gonna remove that lastly. I'm just gonna pop on some nude eyeliner. Again, what's new? I feel like this is kind of smoky and this one kind of brightened it up. It did, and it's usually a good thing, but I don't know. I don't think it did too much for me today. We're gonna move on to highlighter. And this is the Northern Lights Holographic Palette by Makeup Mecca. It's a Norwegian brand. You can only get it in Norway and at Svalbard. But it's just this. You'll be able to find dupes for this. I can't think of some at the top of my head. And this was also gifted from my very good friend whose channel I'll link down below. And I appreciate it, thank you. And I'm just gonna use a very thin, very flimsy fan brush, and I'm gonna use the shade Aurora. It's kind of like peachy, and I think it's gonna look good. I just want that little bit of subtle glow. What's wrong with that? Nothing. And to just finish off this look, to get my butt to work, because I gotta leave in 10 minutes, I'm just gonna finish off with this brown lipstick, and it's by H&M, and it's the shade Wellis and Tweed. Very autumnal. We have a theme here today. And I'm just kidding, we're not done with this look, because I'm gonna take a very small, I think it's supposed to be a lip pencil brush, but it's actually not. But it's a very small detailing brush, and I'm gonna take the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm gonna apply that to my inner corners and my brow bone. So that concludes this video, this chatty get ready with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did enjoy filming it, and I had to leave the house 4 minutes ago, but that's fine. We're all calm here today. Or panicking on the inside, you'll decide. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up to let me know, and subscribe if you would like to see some more from me. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others, and have courage. Bye!